Hi, everybody. This is Sergey.
Hello. Okay, let's wait a couple minutes for everyone to join who is interested, and then we will start. All right. Hello, everyone. So welcome to the 61st weekly DeFi governance call. So we have one topic for today to discuss. So the long-awaited Ever Never contest, stage 2. So today is presented by the Pruvendo team. So guys, if you're ready, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Sergey. Probably most of you already know me, and I am one of the directors of Provendo. Mostly we're working on formal verification, but also we're developing some smart contracts. And today, together with my colleague Vadim Usakov, who is a key developer of the Never project, we're going to describe you this project and to answer your questions. Unfortunately, Andrei, who is also the key member of this project, is not able to join us today. You know, these days are very difficult for everybody. But we'll try to survive without him. Okay, so please let me share the screen.
Yes, please.
Okay, I can do it. Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Great.
Please.
Okay, let's start with a few words. What is Never? In general, in the past, it was called Node as a reverse name for Ton, but after rebranding, the new name is Never. Never is a stable coin with a price with price ever close to $1 American. And unlike some other solutions like well-known USDT, for example, it's not based on any centralization. It's not based on any fiat liquidity, etc. It's fully decentralized, and the price is guaranteed by the system itself. Later we'll describe the basic principles and how it should be organized. About the form of the Never coin, right now we plan to see it as a native one. Because as you probably know, if I'm not wrong, the Everscale system allows to have up to 64 native coins. Maybe I'm wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But we're going to introduce Never as one of these.
Yeah, maybe, sorry, Sergey, maybe it's worth also to mention, because not everyone knows what a currency collection is. Actually, the peculiarity of the protocol we are using is that it can has many native coins that can be used also for gas payment and serve as the system currency. So, and currently we have only one system currency, which you know as Ever, and potentially, as Sergey said, you can add a few more, and Never is expected to be one of those.
Okay, thank you. And in case if something goes wrong, and if by any chance we won't be able to introduce it as a native coin, in this case, the backup plan is to design it as a tip3 coin. But it's definitely a less preferred approach.
I would also, Sergey, I would also note that it's not tip3, but rather tip 3.1, because we had the standard update recently.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah,
okay.
It's worth to reflect this.
Sure.
Maybe now it's type 3, yes, but in the future must be type 3.1. Yes or no?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Should be
Yes.
according to the standard.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide, and let's say a few words about the key players of the key actors of this process. They're called validators. The goal of validators is to set up the basic rate between never and ever. So the validators are supposed to work in the following way. They suggest some rates, suggest them in a disclosed, encrypted manner, so nobody can see them before revealing. And upon the time of revealing, all their suggestions are revealed, and the media rate is considered as a basic rate for the never ever rate, exchange rate. So those validators who failed to provide the rates close to the median one are warned, removed from consideration from this round, and in case of repetitions can be slashed, because such behavior is considered as potentially suspicious and ill-tempered. To provide their adequate rate, validators are expected to use so-called oracles that are off-chain agents that takes the current rates from the popular exchanges, like, for example, Bitcoin exchange. And these oracles are able to provide the information to validators, and validators use this data to make their decisions. It's not mandatory for the validator to use a standard oracle. They're free to use anyone, but it's strictly encouraged. And by using the standard oracles, all the good honest validators are supposed to have approximately the same rate from never to ever. That allows us to set up a good and fair exchange rate for this pair. Currently, we already implemented oracles, and most of the validators during the phase 1 of the contest. And everybody can look at our solutions for DeFi contest number 24. By the way, I forgot to say that this solution is fully based on the DeFi contest number 14. On the article created by Mitja and Andrei Lyashin. So if you need any details, any deep technical details, you can look into that article. Okay, any questions so far?
I'm sorry. I'm saying something and I'm muted. So actually, my first question here is which exchanges? Oracle can or validator of the system, yeah, so can provide any data, in fact, about the exchange rate of Ever to US dollar. What happens if, for example, someone takes as input data some exchange that is provides, so that is doesn't have enough liquidity, for example, for Ever. That's why its exchange rate fluctuates a lot, and also on average, so it provides the wrong data, in fact. So will this validator be slashed, or what happens with him? So how the slashing mechanism works actually?
Actually, yes, this validator, the subscription for this validator will be removed for the current round, and in case of repetitions, it can be slashed.
Yeah, but is slashing is hard, meaning that it slashes all the stake of the validator, or it rather slashes a part of it?
Actually, if I'm right, the final solution about it is not made yet, and it's for phase 3, so 3 of our activity, and currently there are some discussions around it. So, for example, Mitja has a very hard opinion, and he thinks that it should be a very hard slashing. For example, I think that it should be a much softer process. Vadim, correct me if I'm wrong.
As I know, now it's coded. It's developed like streak killing. We remove the whole stake at the moment. But yeah, it's this decision can be easily remade. So this decision is for phase 3. Yeah, we should wait for Mitja's and Mitja's decision.
Okay. Guys, any other questions on this part? Okay. Actually, what are you going to continue the presentation? So
yeah.
Okay, please go on.
Okay. Okay, so let's move to the next part. When the basic price is found, it considered as a base default price for the upcoming never ever auctions. Never ever auction is a mechanism for verification of the rate provided by the validators, and corrects it according to the desire of the participants who actually like to buy never or sell nevers. So these auctions are implemented as a weekly auction. Weekly auction is a sealed bid second price auction. The minimal lots are pretty high. So any kind of stretch bids can be slashed. That encourage participants to use their fair price and not to play with some and not to try to artificially change the rate. When the auction is completed, the winners get the required lots, and all the other participants are able to are welcome to make the direct exchange using the price found by the auction plus some pretty significant fee. The exact amount of fee is being discussed and will be found will be found later. Basically, I think it's a configurable parameter.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions?
No, that's pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, please. Okay, I think you can move on. Mm-hmm.
Let's move on. Okay, as I already mentioned as the previous slide, the minimal lot is pretty high, and very few participants can afford it. To increase the ability of participants to participate in these auctions, the DeAuction mechanism is suggested. So it's basically something like DePool, but for auctions. So the participants can gather and provide their small stakes to be able to buy a big lot.
Mm-hmm.
Each DeAuction can have its own strategy. It can advertise it. That each participant can select the better auction.
This is not clear. How participants can select the best the auction if participants do not know the price?
But they have some strategy. For example, then can use the information from the particular exchanges. Then can say use more aggressive higher prices or more conservative lower prices.
I think I get it. I think I get it. The auction is it the joint bid mechanism? Joint bid for purchase.
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
Does the auction is the joint bidding mechanism?
Yeah.
Okay, so then it means that somebody should select the price which is offered by that bid. And others should adhere to that price, to that offer.
Actually, maybe I need some help from Vadim here.
I know the answer. In current version of design, DeAuction has its owner, its admin, and it's a person or maybe even contract who makes the decision. So participants only give the currency, and owner makes a decision.
I think it's really will be worth to have a set of information about each DeAuction, in fact, explaining who is it and how the price is formed, actually, so the price algorithm that this validator is using, and on this basis, people will be selecting this or that DeAuction. But I agree with Pavel, so without knowing anyone, so I personally wouldn't put any penny in each of these DeAuctions unless I know how they behave.
I agree. They definitely need to explain their strategy beforehand and somehow advertise it.
Do you plan to provide some interface for this?
Vadim, do we?
I guess no, because strategy is a strategy. DeAuction's owner can do it anything as they want and can advertise it anyhow as they want. But I guess it can be implemented, for example, as some owner contract with public code. But I don't know how exactly should it work. So owner is not the person. Owner is a contract.
Yeah.
We know how.
I personally, based on my experience, would recommend you. In any case, you will have the project page somehow, yeah. So and for people be able to deploy the validators, whatever. Also, have the tool on your web page for each validator to provide description, at least, about them and how they are calculating the price, because otherwise it's a black box, so it's doesn't work like this.
Okay, maybe we should work on how to work how owners of the auctions can determine their strategies. Maybe I don't know. It's the point to think.
How often auctions go? Is it like each block or every 10 blocks, or how it works?
I guess it's about every few minutes or maybe every hour, because Oracle's price calculation is not so fast. It takes about 20 or 30 seconds.
But then there will be huge slippage, because
yes,
you provided some. Of course, when you go into the auction, you can look at the current price on the market, and those oracles, they provide just indicative range for an auction, but still.
Okay, it's a question to Andrei and Mitja. It's their decision. We know about that problem. It's this design is
Experimental.
Experimental, yeah. It's the idea how it should work. They don't think it's a big deal. I'm not economist. I can't say anything.
Okay, guys.
Okay,
you should you should understand what you're doing.
My question is that how quickly auction will be executed? So you made a bid, and then in how many seconds blocks you'll get the conversion?
I guess the only issue that should suspend the process is how fast DeAuctions owners or maybe personal participants make their bids. So it can take I don't know a few minutes, a few seconds. Then the time in which they have guaranteed to receive information about auction start, make decision, and send it to blockchain.
I would recommend actually having the set time of auctions. So meaning the set duration. So and everyone who made it, he made it. If not, he's not. Because this case, you would be able, at least, to guarantee the delivery of the price timely. So meaning that, for example, you have auction each 30 seconds, and each 30 seconds the price is defined.
Okay. Yeah, sure. It should be just a value in some system config, but yeah, it should be value in the config.
Okay. Guys, any other questions, please?
I have a question. Is DeAuction is the participant of regular auction? Because in original paper, it states that it's separate auctions, DeAuctions to DeAuctions and two regular auctions.
In our current understanding of the process, DeAuction is participant of regular auction.
It's just aggregator contract. It aggregates.
Yeah, it's a fake kind of fake participant who are combination of smaller participants.
Yeah, it's a liquidity pool.
Liquidity pool, yeah.
Participates.
It's like DePool. Yeah, it's like DePool participates in elections. The question is that actual from usability point of view, that if auctions happen quite often, then it is no way for regular users to be able to participate, because then they should like sit and wait before they send some tokens to the auctions. And the other question is that, for example, if you participated in the auction contract which didn't win, so then what happens then? You don't get exchange.
As I know, it's not specified in the paper, but my personal opinion is that DeAuctions should be rerunnable, and like in DePools, any participant can put it to a checkbox that they want to continue their participation, and wait for a successful auction. It should such a behavior should be possible for participants to wait for success.
Okay. I have another question as well. So two questions indeed. The first one is about the reward distribution. So so first thing is how the reward from where the reward appears. Yeah. So and then how it is distributed between validators.
It's not specified for now. There is a few possible strategies. So it can be fee auction. It can be auctions fee. It can be a transfer fee. It can be part of emission, and this decision is not made for now.
Mm-hmm. But can you at least please propose those scenarios, because I asked this question last time, so at the first stage, so and well, it was too early maybe, but now when you're approaching the implementation stage, and the auctions should, if they function as DePools, so they also should include the functionality for distributing rewards. And in this case, so it really it may be affected by how the economic model is implemented. So I would recommend at least defining a few ways on how the economics can function. And the second question is when there is a slashing appears on some validator, so where does his stake goes? So is it distributed between all other players, and on what basis, or it's just returned and his address is banned, or some other scenario?
It's not specified for now. It can be any scenario, and as I understand, it's this solution is integrational solution between different parts. So it should be on the final third stage of the project. first to more about writing the systems, Oracle validators, and auction DeAuction. Third is about to combine all the stuff together.
Okay. I see Mitja joined us. Very cool. Mitja, maybe you have the answer to my question about the economic model for the system.
Which I didn't know, which I didn't hear.
The main question is, what is the motivation for validators to participate in the system? So where money come from and how is they distributed?
Well, it's distributed according to the stakes. And in the white paper, there is it's described the mechanism, which I don't remember now, but there are some commissions that are taken from auctions. And these commissions are kind of it's described in the white paper how the like what sort of commissions is distributed between the you know, not even never validators.
Okay, because I remember that we discussed it some time ago. So whether or not the system will have the fees for people who are willing to so actually sell a lot or buy a lot of nevers. So probably yes.
No, they pay commission.
They do pay commission.
They do pay commission all the time. On there is a like a little spread. I don't remember exactly, but I'm like 99% sure. I mean, I may remember that it's part of the white paper.
Okay, and are there any plans to use the collateral that is backing the never exchange rate in some, I don't know, in lending protocols or whatever, so just to make money work?
No, this is a stabilization collateral. So it should be used to stabilize the system, because that exactly provides, it's like an insurance that provides the guarantees that it's like central bank you know, reserve basically. It ensures that there is no run on the bank, like because people know that there is always a guarantee that whatever happens, like the nevers will be exchanged. The nevers will be always exchanged within the current price that is currently projected by the oracles.
Okay, so the answer is no.
Yeah, the answer is no, but again, because if it would be over collateralized, then you know what will happen. Obviously, it's like the collateral which is over collateralized means that, or I would say under collateralized in this respect, and it means no collateral. So if you use it in lending protocols, then you kind of basically just reducing the collateralization.
Okay, very good. So one maybe last question from my side. So whether or not the system is going to have a DAO, so to configure all the parameters of this never stabilization system.
Well, we never thought that it's need to have a DAO, because like these validators that are actually validate, they go oracles that validating it, and then the main governance DAO, I think, should govern the system, because it's a system. It's a system protocol, and it's always was kind of, the idea was to create a system level protocol.
Okay.
And what is important to mention is, and I thought, by the way, that the oracles are already implemented. No,
they were implemented in the first stage.
So I would suggest additional kind of small contest to add, or maybe it's already there. I didn't really see the implementation. Sorry. It is very important to add actually to the Oracle data possibility to suggest arbitrary data, not only the like dollar, for example, curve price. So, and that is important, because if we already have a protocol that kind of ensures the data is correct, meaning that the Oracle data is correct, then we should use it to kind of provide all sorts of data, different other data. For example, if someone wants to start a synthetic asset of projection Apple stock price within the system, then apart from the auction part, so the auction part is only for ever never, but the oracles can actually take and make more money by that, by also providing through the same mechanism, providing not the dollar price data, but Apple stock price data, or Tesla stock price data, whatnot. Then and I really want to use it in Flex, because then any DEX can then very easily create a synthetic asset based on this and pay back under certain conditions, like pay back to the validators for providing this data, and that will create kind of universal oracle, more or less, within the system, on the system level, which I think is a very beneficial idea, and I think that will create a lot of boost for kind of basically it will position the access on Everscale being able to provide same service as any centralized exchange, even not the crypto only one. But for example, we can really go and kind of compete with FTX or whatnot.
Okay.
And it's easily done, because again, the protocol is already there. There's just an additional layer that need to be written to kind of absorb that data and pay for it, I will write. Actually, I'm thinking about that already for a few weeks now, because I really want to make it in Flex, make all sorts of data available in Flex. It is very important that it will be decentralized, because then the regulator, as you may know, regulator already acted upon decentralized protocols, or like less centralized protocols, which tried to do the same thing. As you know, there were several protocols who got subpoenaed by SEC because they started trading regular assets on the blockchain. So therefore, it is very important that the provision of the service and it will be decentralized, and then the service that it's based upon this data, like the provision of the data is centralized, and the service of the data is separated from the provision of the data, the service that you build on top of that. So the asset itself, like this synthetic part of it in the DEX, is completely decoupled from the data provided by the oracles and has completely different governance, and also decentralized, right? And then it's also decentralized, meaning it's only DEX. Then in this case, like, what do you do? And it's okay. So someone is providing some data, someone else is has a smart contract that make it trading on the data possible. And what are you gonna do? I mean, it's impossible to prevent this, right? So so I think this is very important, and I think that I will propose some extension later on, of course, once this is finished, to allow such thing as an extension to the oracle's data. And that will provide, I think, additional nice kind of possibility. And to your question of the monetization, right? It will provide additional monetization for the validators to kind of provide this data.
Very good. Okay, guys. Any questions? Seems no. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, actually, basically, I'm almost done. Just the last slides are mostly about the current situation. We already discussed it. So phase one is currently has been completed. So it's partial implementation of Never's Validator and Oracles mechanism. So for phase two, we propose auction and DeAuction. And for phase three, the rest of the project. So looks like currently we need to explicitly address some issues that were raised during the meeting today. For example, about the strategy of the DeAuctions and some other, and then we'll present this document for your approval.
Okay, very good. So concerning the contest itself, so I run through the contest, so and made some fixes in the wording. So because most of the things that you put there is already present in the procedural remarks, and we are sticking to them. So when we are running a contest in the DeFi sub-governance. And a couple of things that are missing are hard criteria and the deliverables. So please add those to make the transparent understanding to jurors and to participants. So how this contest should be judged. You can take as an example the SSI stage 3 contest. So I will send you the link. So please add those parts and we can hopefully launch the contest today.
Also a remark for coin design. I mean, it should be, I think, from the currency collection, right? I don't know if that's how it's.
Yeah, it's stated there. So it's stated as a main case, but also as a backup plan for to support the TIP 3.1 token.
Well, I would just stick to the currency collection. I think this is like an important systemic stablecoin. No need to do the TIP 3 variation.
Sergey, in this case, please remove the TIP 3 token implementation.
Okay.
Yeah, no need for that.
Good.
It's redundant, just additional effort.
All right. So thank you guys from Pruvendo team. Thank you, Sergey. Thank you, Vadim. So it was a nice presentation and good discussion, in my opinion. So when you are done with the wording things with the contest, just ping me and I will launch the contest in the governance interface. Actually, this was the only topic for today, and not so many news yet, but hopefully, so we will start collecting more and more news. Especially, I know that guys from the DeFi Alliance are now just almost finished building the website for the Everscale. And more and more information is appearing there. And also, they will be merging the DeFi Alliance website into the Everscale website to make the homogenic place where one can find any information about the Everscale. If you have any other topics, we have a few minutes left for today. So please raise your hand. 3, 2, 1, no topics. Okay, guys, so thank you for attending today, and I will publish the recording once it's converted. So, and see you next time, next week, hopefully.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
Peace.
Thanks, bye-bye.